Hey everyone, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to wrap up my Christmas December Daily 2022 album, and these are the last couple of pages that I am working on. So this one is the last signature that needs finishing up. It's the last page and it has a pocket. This comes all with cut files, but I just printed an outline of the paper because it's an odd shape, and then I just used that as a template to cut my paper just by hand with my trimmer. That's an easy way if you don't have a cutting machine, but you still want to use the free cut files that come with this album. And so they're available as freebies on my blog, MistyHilltops.com. But again, if you don't have a machine, you can just easily print an outline of the odd shapes and then use whatever tools you have to cut things by hand. So here it's just a background paper and then the patterned paper for the pocket. And I'm not wasting any extra paper by filling the entire background page. I just make sure it just goes slightly beyond where the pocket has its lowest point, so that there's still a strip of this paper that I can cut off from here. I've used two paper packs, 6x6 paper packs for this. Plus I made a lot of my own embellishments. Like here I am actually working on a flower. I'm just folding up the individual petals of the flower, so that will go as an embellishment. This is one of the few places in this album where I can actually put something more bulky, because it's the end of a signature. So usually on the front and the back pages of a signature, I can add more bulky things. In the middle, in just any of the pages, I try to avoid that because the album just gets too bulky. This album actually did get quite a bit bulky, as you will see in the end, but I'm still okay with it. It had all the places and I was able to fill it out. So now I folded all the petals and I'm ready to use a brad, but I still also use some glue. And the reason is I've done this so many times, and if I only use a brad, the flowers will slowly slide back so that each petal is on top of each other, and this is not what I want. I want there to be not an overlap, but they fill out spaces in between. And I figured out that the only way to get that to avoid over time for it to become just the same, just overlap, to just use a bit of glue on the back to put the flower together. It's just a tiny bit so that it keeps from moving and sliding with a brad. So I've done it, like I said, I've done it many times before, and many of my albums, the flower's there, but all the petals are on top of each other. They're layered on top of each other because it slowly over time slipped because I didn't do the gluing. So that, so here's the number. I used a die cut piece for the background, and then I just simply stamped it. And then it's time to put the signature into this album. This is the third signature, the last one, and there's a pocket, not in the middle of the signature, but somewhere toward the back. There's a pocket, and I have to pay attention to where that pocket is, so that that is where I can then glue it on. Well, the back side of the pocket is also open, but by gluing it into the binding is where it closes, and so then it becomes a pocket that is just open to one side. Here my flower just came off again, not a big deal, but I'm just really trying to press it down well, because obviously this is a book. It'll be handled, it'll be moved, it's interactive, it has all these parts and pieces, and so I want it to stick very well. And then I have this is the pocket insert. I already finished the back side of it, but I realized I do have more stamps that I finished and more other pieces for embellishment that I just don't have any space in this album. But there was still the back side of this pocket insert that I felt, okay, it can handle more. Now I am doing something slightly strange. I am putting some foam adhesive on the back, so because it is a kind of a 3D stamp where the pieces pop off, but obviously this will go into a pocket, so it is interesting that I'll see how that works out. But my hope is that the pocket will just push down the foam, and only when you take out the pocket will the 3D effect then come to play. And then I have these other pieces just from different stamp sets that I had prepared. I cut these out with my Silhouette. Years ago I scanned in my stamps, and then I just cut it with my Silhouette, and then I can stamp it because I don't have dies for this. So this is the pocket, it goes right in there, and this is my album pretty much done, except for the last couple of pages that I'm now going to work, and it's going to be the same as at the front of the album, just a bunch of kind of like a waterfall, just a bunch of flaps that I will put pockets front and back with pattern papers. This kind of uses up the last bit of my large pieces of pattern paper. I still have a bit of pattern paper left. Again, I used 2 packs for this album, but I didn't use up all I used up all the bigger pieces of paper, but now I have a whole lot of little scraps left over that I can use for Christmas cards and other things. So here I'm keeping it very, very simple. Christmas is kind of over. I still have my Christmas things out, but I just put the number, a pocket, and then a journaling card. These journaling cards will become available right away on my blog mistyhilltops.com as free journal cards. Not all of them, but most of them. There's 4 of them that have a New Year's kind of theme, end of the year review, New Year's resolutions kind of theme, and those journal cards will become available on my blog mistyhilltops.com as freebie if you are interested. The way that works is they come in a Silhouette file from Silhouette Studio and a PDF. You can just use the PDF if you don't have a Silhouette Studio. Silhouette Studio is a free software. You could just download it and then just use it to print things off. You don't need any machine to have the software. But again, you can just use the PDF if you like. And then the Silhouette comes in fully customizable ways. Like you can change the colors of the journal cards. You can pretty much change everything about the journal cards in the Silhouette. I leave them where they remain editable. So here again, I created a whole bunch of pockets for this kind of 4x6 page size. This is slightly larger, but it's 4x6. It holds 4x6 materials, and then the journal cards are 3x4. I think they should be, because that's the size that I create them in. But often before I print them, I do resize them. So again, you can take a little sneak peek at these journal cards, and you can on Friday you can go on to, and obviously later, if you watch this video later, you can go and download this as a freebie on my blog mistyhilltops.com. So here again I have this pocket. I used other cut files from my Silhouette library that come from the store and turn them into these pockets. It's a fairly easy process. to change files that are even much larger than this pocket, but it's just very easy to turn them into these pockets in Silhouette. Now I am still deciding if this is the right paper there, and then the next paper can be glued down with the pocket. Again, I keep it very simple. I add the dates just because there isn't much. It's not about Christmas much anymore. This is now the end of the year kind of part of this book, and so I have all these word strips, but I'm undecided. They're all Christmas themed word strips, and I'm undecided whether I want to use them in this part of the album, which is not much about Christmas anymore. There are a few pages on Christmas that, like the favorite, the card there. So the journal card, I mean. So I could still use some of my word strips. And if you're interested, you can check out all the other videos about this album. They're on this channel, and there's it has its own playlist. So if you're interested, you can go and check out the other videos. This is a very interactive album. It has pop-up pages, and waterfall pages, and all different kinds of fun elements there. So now I have these last couple of flaps, and I still have the date markers, so I still wanted to glue those down. And there's one for 30 and 31. I used stamps, a mixture of stamps and dies, and just to put these, create the numbers for the day. I didn't want to do one style. I thought it was going to be more interesting to keep this, and obviously Silhouette. I have some Silhouette numbers, like numbers that I cut with my Silhouette as well. So here I am now ready to just glue down this bit on this is going on in the back cover of this album, and so I'm just putting down. I have that glue strip there where I can. It works the same way as on the front. I didn't actually use any. I didn't have to create any new cut file for this. I just used one of the 4x6 cut files that comes with this album, and just cut them out 3 times, cut out the pockets. Those pockets I will not really be able to share because as freebies, because sadly I used other designers' designs to create them, and I'm not gonna share stuff that I got from other people. I can do this for my personal stuff, but I'm not gonna share things that other designers created. So sorry about that. If you were hoping to get these pretty pockets, sadly they will not be available as downloads and freebies on my blog. And there's always a little bit I have to cut along the trimmed edges there, and then this is filling up the back cover. Now the only thing that needs to be done is to do the front and back cover on the outside. I'm going to use some of my pattern papers from my digital scrapbooking stash, print them out, because the front and back is larger than materials for 6x6. Obviously, it is bigger than it contains materials for 6x6, so needless to say, the cover is larger than that, and so I don't want to use a 6x6 paper on it. That would look a little bit cheesy, because the outside would be a very wide rim around it. I don't like that, so I am going to use one of my many Christmas kits to print a front and back pattern paper that will go on the front and the back, and then that finishes my album. So anyways, here I'm going to leave you with some more close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, check out the other videos, especially of this album if you like. Consider giving this a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.